you done well to get a share whenever you come back in after it.
So the difference then that Garvaghey made to Tyrone football was immense.
You could have been here, there and anywhere literally, training for county teams from development squads right up through. So we're very fortunate to have what we have, and from our point of view now, it's a case of maximising that. Every time you walk into Croke Park, the hair stands, I was going to say the hair stands in your head, it stands in the back of your neck for those who don't have it in their head.
Peter, the best of luck with your new venture. I have to say, very impressive, a shrine to Tyrone football, you could call it.
Oh, we do have an Armagh jersey up there somewhere, belonging to one Brendan Tierney.
A big one?
It's well stretched. It's taken up the space of 3 or 4 jerseys, but anyway, that's another matter. So thanks Jimmy, it's going well. So we've only in it a few weeks, and so far so good. And long may that continue.
To go back to your playing days, where would the Tyrone teams have trained during your time as a player?
Just had the one pitch. I heard the one pitch, and it was back then. It was one of the very few clubs that had floodlights, and that's where we would have done a lot of our training back then. From there on, throughout the 90s, early 90s, you could have been here, there and anywhere literally training with Tyrone. You would have got the call maybe the day of a training session to say that a pitch wasn't up to standard, or a club weren't able to give it for some reason, so you would have had to go elsewhere, and there would have been training sessions cancelled because we didn't have a venue or a good enough pitch maybe. But that was a long time ago, and you're listening to Kieran McGeaney a couple of weeks ago saying that Armagh still having the same problems, so hence why we're here.
Absolutely. So the difference then that Garvaghey made to Tyrone football was immense.
Number one, you had a base, but more importantly, it was a quality base in terms of the pitches that you were training on. Was they're all sand. The 5 pitches up there are sand carpeted. They're maintained really well. Back to the point, no disrespect to a lot of the clubs and a lot of the places where we're training. You done well to get a share whenever you come back in after it. So again, in Garvaghey, you had excellent training facilities in that regard.
Well, you were glad of the club's facilities, but they were glad to see you go.
You were putting a strain.
Yeah.
Clubs, thankfully, and Tyrone take a great pride in their county team. So on the one hand, you had clubs that were very willing, and I recall various groundsmen, so proud to see you and very welcoming. You didn't feel as if you were a burden on the club, but now when I'm involved in my own club, you see, you think twice whenever you get the phone call from a Jimmy Smith or from somebody else, even your own county teams that maybe might need it. So that you're thinking of a lot of other things, and upkeep of the pitch, and do we need another team coming in tramping down on our pitch and maybe preventing our girls or under 14 boys from a training session. You could see why a lot of them were reluctant to get another team using their own facilities that they're paying for.
So what facilities do you have now at Garvaghey that are available to all the teams in Tyrone?
Well, you have 6 full-size pitches there. First of all, you have 5 grass and 1 3G, and bear in mind the weather that we have, we could have done with another 3G, but the fact that you have 6 full-size pitches in itself is massive, and they're all floodlit. You also have a Mhacha, 60x40 Mhacha, which is 3G, and again, when weather conditions aren't what they should be, that's a great option as well. You have everything that you need for county teams, from development squads right up through. So we're very fortunate to have what we have, and from our point of view now, it's a case of maximising that. There's a number of counties have got their complexes, their bases up and running, and it's a statement of intent. If anybody comes here and they take a walk around Garvaghey, they'll know right away this county means business.
What message does that give to a young fella starting out on a career with Tyrone football when he comes up that hill into Garvaghey and sees all those facilities just waiting on him?
Every time you walk into Croke Park, the hair stands, I was going to say the hair stands in your head, it stands in the back of your neck for those who don't have it in their head. But Garvaghey should be the same for any youngsters. It should be the place where they want to come to. It should be something that every youngster that puts on the Tyrone jersey here and Tyrone should want to play, should want to train and give a high moving forward, and it should be the launch pad for them to greater things.
Well, it didn't come out of nowhere. There was an awful lot of work went into the preparation of it, an awful lot of work went into the funding of it. How did the Tyrone supporters and Tyrone in general get behind this venture? Because it's a huge undertaking, but they're sitting now proud.
Yeah, debt free, and the people that came up with that plan, came up with the idea, and the members of Club Tyrone in particular deserve a lot of credit for that, because at the time when it was mooted that we're going to have a centre of excellence, you know, you had your naysayers and people saying, sure, we have enough clubs with enough pitches to go ahead. But I think when you're the size of the county of Tyrone and as ambitious as our county are, then you need to have a base, you need to have a centre of excellence. So, you know, the millions that it costs, I think over 7 million for what you see up there at the minute, it doesn't happen. Yes, some of that was granted and there was different money sourced from external sources, but the majority of that money was raised by Tyrone GAAs. Can be rightly proud every time they come to that centre, knowing that it is well used and that the players are getting the benefit of it. I know there's a lot of people in positions of power not sitting on their hands doing nothing. They are thinking ahead and what's needed further down the line, but it's much easier to add to it and to fundraise and to get new things whenever you have your minors, seniors, under 20s playing in All-Ireland finals and winning and achieving, and that's, you know, that's the next stage is to how to get the best, how to maximise what you have up there, because, you know, you see what's happening in Derry at the minute and the foresight that their administrators have and the progress they've made in a short space of time. So there's Dublin, you know, a number of years ago, and the amount of money that they've spent, and so you're always playing catch up, but we'll keep knocking away, we'll keep chipping away at it, Jimmy.